Good evening. Hope everybody's doing all right. I'll tell you, it's a lot of different crazy headlines. I'll tell you what, it's kind of been all over the place when it comes to the different data points, if you will, on the news. Anyway, just been absolutely crazy. I'm gonna try to stay focused here. I got some images here that are quite interesting that I had gotten earlier. I was playing around this morning. I don't know why it popped in my head, but it just popped in my head about the individuals, the folks out there doing. I guess they're going in and they're putting in keywords or phrases or what have you, and then AI is drawing a picture. So I thought, I am going to give that a shot and see what happens. And I don't know where it came from. The idea of it just came out of nowhere. And this new buzzword that they're starting to say, and I think you're going to see it a lot more, is polycrisis is something that they're starting to say. And I don't remember the exact definition, but polycrisis, you're going to hear it plenty, trust me. And I thought, you know what? I want to see what AI says polycrisis looks like. So now I don't know anything really about this AI art. All I know is I went to a web page. It asked me for a word or, whatever series of words, whatever, and then it had something where it had you pick like a base image or something like that. Okay. So what I picked was I put in, of course, the word polycrisis, and the image that I picked was nothing really like what came up. It was structures. But let me take you on over and show you. So this is the image that the AI spit back at me. And offhand, I don't have the original image, but what it was essentially just a series of huts. In fact, that's all you could see. You couldn't even see, I don't believe you could see sky or anything like that. It was just like the front of some, huts, just very basic, simple, look like straw or grass type of huts, and that's all it was. This is what AI spit out at me. So nothing like, what the original base image was nothing like a castle. So anyway, I thought, okay, well, let's try this again. And I thought, I want to, let me show you what another website, I believe I've still got it. Right here. Let me blow that up. This is what another website gave me for the word polycrisis. So, yeah. Take that. And I can't remember what the base image was. It didn't look like that. So I'm thinking a polycrisis is something like a cross between a parrot, a porcupine, and a toucan. So I'm thinking that might be roughly what it is. Yeah. Anyway, that is what the other AI gave me. However, I put in the Watchman news. This is back with the hut images that I was talking about, where my base image was a hut. So, and it allowed me to pick, 1 through 4 images. And so I said, oh, give me 4, right? So, this is image 1 that it gave me. This is image 2 that it gave me. And again, the Watchman news is what, some type of a humanoid figure there. And I don't know what's just off to the right here, but it really stands out among all the other stuff. So here's the third image, and I noticed that there's something in the air flying. I don't know what it is, but apparently something flying, and there's another one that looks like up there and maybe up in here. But looks like waterways, and then this is the last image that I got from the Watchman News, which is a human-like figure standing here. Almost looks like standing on water, and then looking inward to whatever the heck that is. Almost would make me think it's some type of dock or something. I don't know. But interesting, for sure. I just thought I'd mess around and see what it would give me. I didn't really have any expectations or anything like that. I just was curious. Howdy, Great Winston. Other than that, though, not really anything to tell you. Not really. I will say, I will put this much of it out, and I'm waiting until everything's like finalized until I go into any further detail. But the beta testing that I was involved in is like done and over with. So that's it's been completed, and actually I packed the unit up and sent it back today. So it's going back home today. So anyway, there'll be more on that later. And again, it'll be very limited because I can't talk about the actual test itself. That I can't discuss. So I am still covered under the NDA. That NDA is good for 3 years or until they tell me that I can speak. So they have not gave us permission to speak, so that means I can't. And again, that NDA is in effect for 3 years, or them telling us we can speak. So I can't tell you about the actual testing, but I'll tell you about the spoils. So anyway, when that all happens, I will be happy to share it with you. Other than that, can't think of any other updates. Just craziness, as I'm sure you're aware of in the news. Doomsday clock, that don't really, by the way, it doesn't really like freak me out or anything like that, and I would advise for you to not let it freak you out about the Doomsday clock. It is significant, and I will say that. But when they have things that they're considering in with it, like climate change, here's the thing. If they were talking about pole shift, I'd give them a big old double thumbs up. But they're not. They're talking about the nonsense carbon crap that the Greta bots are spewing. If it were about what's really going on, then I'd be all for it, but it's not. So I think that had a lot more to play as part than what they will come right out and say. I think they, more than anything, I think they use the Ukraine conflict as a scapegoat. But that is because, this program, if you will, has been used in the past, and I'm pretty sure currently in the present, as a political tool. Also as a propaganda tool. And so keep that in mind. So, but they did update the Doomsday clock to 90 seconds from midnight. Now, what bothers me most about this will be quite different from most people, but I personally liked it when it was 2 minutes to midnight, because that is one kick-ass song from Iron Maiden. And when they made that update to two minutes to midnight, You better believe that was cranked. That was I don't know. Maybe I'm just twisted, but that was a moment. Anyway, now it's 90 seconds to midnight, and nobody's wrote a song like that. So, Bruce, that means you need to get busy, brother. Fly Ed Force 1 over and. All right. So I guess we'll just get jumping into things, and we'll go from there. First up is the craziness with the Doomsday Clock. Says here, humanity stands at its most perilous time on record, with the so-called Doomsday Clock advancing to within just 90 seconds of midnight as the Russia-Ukraine conflict stokes fears of nuclear war, according to a leading group of atomic scientists. The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists adjusted its Doomsday Clock on Tuesday, moving it 10 seconds forward to reflect the group's view of how close the world has been pushed to widespread calamity. The clock, which is updated each January, is designed to alert people to the threats to their existence, including nuclear war, climate change, and biotechnology. Let's see. The latest adjustment reflects a time of unprecedented danger, which stems largely, though not exclusively, from the mounting dangers of the war in Ukraine, the group said. The Bulletin's Science and Security Board accused Russia of making thinly veiled threats to use nuclear weapons, reminding the world that the conflict could spin out of control and escalate catastrophically. Even if nuclear use is avoided in Ukraine, the war has challenged the nuclear order, the system of agreements and understandings that have been constructed over 6 decades to limit the dangers of nuclear weapons, said SASB member Steve Fetter, Dean of the Graduate School and Professor of Public Policy at the University of Maryland. The SASB predicted that the last remaining nuclear weapons treaty between Russia and the U.S., New START, is allowed to expire in 2026. A nuclear arms race will ensue. Already, China is rapidly expanding its nuclear program. North Korea has ramped up missile testing. Iran is inching closer to nuclear weapons capability. And the U.S., Russia, and India are modernizing their arsenals. And, China's already said they're not signing any treaties. So, I'm not sure what the New START treaty or any other treaty really could have an effect on, because you've got too many people now, too many different nations now that are building them up. So, not saying treaties are a bad idea, but I'm just saying if everybody's not involved, then, it would kind of be foolish to leave yourself at a disadvantage when you know that a possible enemy is building up stockpiles. So, you would be foolish to be like, I don't want to get involved in that, whatever, that negativity, right? Because it doesn't matter if it is truly an enemy and you can't defend yourself against them. Your ideals didn't help you out too much. So anyway, we've got that going on. I'm just going to run through these. Berlin to send Leopard tanks to Ukraine, says media. So now, this, as far as I know, and I know everything's been back and forth. As far as I know, this is now a done deal? Question mark. Berlin has changed its stance on delivery of Leopard 2 main battle tanks to Ukraine, finally agreeing to send in the hardware, Der Spiegel reported on Tuesday, citing sources. Now, Just earlier, I was reading, before obviously this point, I was reading that, even after their meeting, and I don't know if I read this yesterday on yesterday's show or not, but supposedly even after their meeting, they didn't have anything secured as far as main battle tanks. So I find it interesting that, as soon as the meeting's over with, now, Germany's going to start sending some, and it's not over yet. So anyway, it goes on to say, according to the Weekly, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has agreed to provide Kiev with enough armored vehicles to equip a tank company. While the outlet did not specify an exact number, a company is usually comprised of at least 16 tanks. The looming delivery is expected to involve one of the latest variants of the combat vehicle, namely Leopard 2A6 tanks. The tanks in question will come from Germany's Bundeswehr stocks, Der Spiegel noted. The Financial Times also reported on Berlin's decision, citing sources familiar with the matter. Let's see. Okay, and I think the rest are just kind of going into stuff that was already said. However, and just, for anybody keeping notes, I think we are right on schedule for my prediction when I said the U.S. would be sending them tanks. Remember I said, it's been 2 to 3 weeks ago. I said in 2 to 3 weeks, the United States is going to be sending them main battle tanks. And I said that because that was when the United States first said that they weren't going to send them main battle tanks. So I'm waiting on the planes next. So I suspect that next will be an aircraft. U.S. changes stance on sending tanks to Ukraine, says media. U.S. President Joe Biden's administration has reportedly dismissed objections to sending M1 Abrams tanks to Ukraine and will make an announcement as soon as this week on providing a significant number of the heavily armored behemoths to Kiev. A significant number. So that's kind of a, far stretch from not going to send any. U.S. officials are finalizing plans to ship battle tanks to Ukraine, perhaps partly to persuade Germany to provide some of its Leopard 2 tanks to the former Soviet Republic. Yet I just read you an article saying they were. So did the U.S. do this first? Maybe. I don't know. It says the Pentagon had previously opposed the idea, arguing that the tanks would be too difficult for Ukrainian forces to operate and maintain as they fight Russian forces. While an announcement of the decision may come within the next few days, it could take months to deploy M1 Abrams tanks on the battlefield. Ukrainian troops will have to be trained to operate the tanks, which are far different from their Soviet-era T-72 models. The M1 Abrams is powered by a jet engine and guzzles aviation fuel rather than standard diesel. It weighs 63 tons and travels about 3 miles per gallon. So I expect Greta to be there, and with her protest signs and her protest buddies, and I expect them to be there protesting how much fuel the war is taking. I mean, this is insane. And now, mind you, being that it runs on jet fuel, guess who's probably going to be providing that fuel? It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Apparently, there's another area that Russia has been getting a pretty good foot in. Let's hear Ukraine says Ukrainian troops suffering heavy casualties in Donbass. Ukraine's military has made unsuccessful attempts to counteract advancing Russian troops near the strategic town of Ugoldar in the southwest of Donetsk People's Republic, sources on the ground told RT on Tuesday. Over the past 2 days, Kiev's forces have attempted 2 assaults, sustaining heavy losses in the process. The second attempt played out especially bad for the Ukrainian military, the sources noted. Ukrainian troops, which have been using unarmored vehicles and old U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carriers, failed to advance on Russian positions, ultimately coming under heavy artillery fire while trying to fall back. The units involved the ill-fated offensive apparently lost some 200 servicemen and sustained material losses. So, apparently that didn't work out too well for him, and I don't know how many of the vehicles were damaged or destroyed, but it sounds like they took a pretty heavy hit. I don't know. I don't see no easy path to victory with the way they're doing this. It's, all you're going to do is deplete your own stockpiles. You don't fight wars by slowly funneling things in and slowly increasing the lethality of the equipment you're using. You don't fight wars like that. You get in there and you kick ass with everything you got, and you try to knock them out of the fight before they can knock you out of the fight. You don't want to overthrow yourself, if you will. You don't want to put too much out there so that, in one wave you're all out of everything. But you certainly want to do it differently than how we've been arming Ukraine. How much time do you want to give Russia to build up how many different pieces of equipment? That's just the thing. That's just the thing. So, I don't know. I don't have a real good feeling about this. I really don't. I know the power substations have been a lot of talk here lately. And that is something I would certainly say to be mindful of. Of course, weather has been crazy across the country too. We've got a winter storm headed our way. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy, but never can be too sure. I don't know. I would highly urge people to get ready the best they can. And I expect worst case scenario is a grid down situation, and I'm not saying even necessarily long term, but I don't think it's going to be all out nuclear conflict or anything like that. I really don't see it going down like that, and I don't think that's wishful thinking. I don't think that we've got people in control of the buttons that really want to go there. I don't know. If they did, they already would have. This, I thought, was an interesting article. Humanity may reach singularity within just 7 years, a trend shows. It's kind of crazy here. By one unique metric, we could have... well, let me just read the article here, because I think the little bit of the article here. If the world of artificial intelligence, the idea of singularity looms large. This slippery concept describes the moment AI exceeds beyond human control and rapidly transforms society. The tricky thing about AI singularity and why it borrows terminology from black hole physics is that it's enormously difficult to predict where it begins and nearly impossible to know what's beyond this technological event horizon. However, some AI researchers are on the hunt for signs of reaching singularity measured by AI progress approaching the skills and ability comparable to a human. One such metric, defined by Translated, a Rome-based translation company, is an AI's ability to translate speech at the accuracy of a human. Language is one of the most difficult AI challenges, but a computer that could close that gap could theoretically show signs of artificial general intelligence. Are we getting anywhere close to common sense, though? Because we might have a good tool for that. Let's see. That's because language is the most natural thing for humans. Translated CEO Marco Trombetti said at a conference in Orlando, Florida in December. Nonetheless, the data Translated collected clearly shows that the machines are not that far from closing the gap. And I do think that is something that we need to be concerned with. I really do. Because, well, humans aren't as smart as what they think they are. Plain and simple. They're not. And the smarter somebody is, and I mean the truly more intellectual that someone is the more that you will hear them say, there is no way to even remotely know even a fraction of everything. You couldn't know everything that is current knowledge now, no less what's going to be knowledge in 20 years. So, the one thing that humans do not want to do is take on computers. We do not want to do that. They are much faster. They are much more accurate. And they don't need the things that we need to keep going. It's something we might want to be careful of. It really, truly is. I mean, right now, I don't think we're to a maximum overdrive point. I don't think that there's the needed robotics out there at the current time to be able to start really replicating itself, to steal a word from Star Trek. I don't see that happening yet. But I don't know how much further we could get before we reach that. So, oh, I hear you there, Dia. I hear you there. Yeah, there's just so much. I mean, even with, I'm just humored by it. Photoshop, just the program Photoshop. I swear you could spend a lifetime learning that one software program and still not know how to do everything it's capable of doing. It is just insane what that software has the capability of doing. Absolutely insane. Even the image that's in front of you. There are tutorials that will show you that from the YouTube channels that I'm subbed to have done tutorials on how to do the space effect and all kinds of other effects like that. And in fact, I use some of that stuff that I learn on there on the show. In fact, today's thumbnail is largely used from lessons that I've learned from YouTube and how to do Photoshop stuff. So I don't know why. Once in a while, I just feel like doing up a decent picture for the show. Let's see. Okay. And this is something that we've all known for like a long, long time. But, I was warning people about this stuff a long time ago. You know, hey, you don't really need a smart fridge, do you? I mean, really? Do you really need a smart fridge? Do you really need a smart dryer and a smart washer and if you do, that's fine. I'm not belittling you. But understand that in as many rooms of your home as possible, you have put spies, basically. You know, I had spoke about this a long time ago, and people thought I was nuts. And I'm sure some of those people still think I'm nuts, but I think a lot of those people have probably found out for themselves by this point. But over a decade ago, I was warning people about their televisions and stuff like that. I was warning people about possible microphones and cameras being put in this equipment to be able to monitor us. And I wasn't just trying to play tinfoil hat guy. But when you're looking at a circuit board in front of you that's got a camera and or microphone on it, yeah, you know, makes you kind of wonder. And not only that, but, you know, there's a bunch of these TVs out there now that, well, you don't even have to flip through the channels, honey. You just talk to it. You just tell it what you want to see. And it'll make it happen for you. And that's fine if you're into that thing, and if you've got that technology, that, hey, that's fine, that's cool. I'm not going to say nothing about it. Do I have it? No. Would I have it? No, I don't think so. Am I afraid of it? No. Why am I not afraid of it? Well, because I'm not planning a raid party at dawn. No. I'm not going to be planning any January 6th insurrections or anything like that. I'm just not in the mood for that kind of stuff. I'm just really not that exciting of a person. So, does it worry me as far as it's going to be the death of me? No. Does it worry me as far as a breach of privacy? Absolutely. And I would tell people that if they've got anything sensitive to discuss with another individual, that you do so outside of the area of any electronics. No cell phones, no nothing. No nothing. Because I've said it for a long damn time, and it still hasn't changed, but nothing you do online is secure. Nothing. Security is a gimmick. There's a lot of companies that make money hand over fist. And I'm not saying they're like softwares don't do anything. I'm not saying firewalls and antiviruses don't do anything. I'm not making that claim. But most people don't have to worry about anything as long as they don't click on stupid stuff. See, and that's just the crux of it. Because if you do click on something stupid, there's a really good chance that antivirus isn't going to stop it. So, how much did it really help you? You had it there, and because you clicked something that you shouldn't have clicked, that antivirus couldn't do anything to help you. Yeah, I don't freak out about that stuff. I do have, the Windows stuff on my computer, but that's it. I refuse to put anything else on there. Windows Defender, Windows Firewall. It's all you need. All you need. But anyway, I'd been warning about this stuff for a long, long time. This isn't surprising, but I'll go ahead. It says, Chinese-made microchips embedded in Internet of Things devices like smart fridges cars, and televisions allow Beijing to spy on unsuspecting Britons, a report from think tank UDA published on Monday and seen by the UK Telegraph revealed. The report alleges that the threat from Chinese-made components called cellular IoTs is greater than that posed by the Chinese-made Huawei 5G components, which the UK government decided to cut out of Britain's 5G network by 2027 under heavy US pressure. So you see, that's what this stuff has to do with. This is just about business. That's what this is about. It says these Trojan horse modules are found in every device connected to the Internet of Things, from laptops to smartwatches to cars, refrigerators, smart meters, doorbells, cameras, credit card payment machines, even light bulbs, designed to collect usage data and transmit it back to the manufacturer using 5G networks. They can produce a relatively detailed picture of a user, a community, or an entire industry. Yeah. You know that little sticker that you see that says Energy Star? Well, there you go. And that, my friends, is what I was warning people about over a decade ago. I was telling everyone, stay away from the stuff that's got Energy Star on it. This is why. And it's not the big bad Chinese government that did it. They're not the ones that did this. It's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, so you got that going on. Britain's just now figuring it out. Still haven't figured out that giving up firearms thing, though. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, speaking of craziness, I got this out of California. That whole shooting the other night with that Asian man, it took 5 hours for the police to warn the public that there was a dangerous man that was involved in a mass shooting and was unaccounted for. 5 hours. This man could have been going on spree after spree after spree, and the general public would not know anything different. Not just any general public, by the way. We're talking about a heavily Asian community, an Asian area, and it's the Lunar New Year. So that's going to make a huge difference as to the amount of people that are out and about going to the club. Well, I say clubs, but going to wherever they go. These were dance halls, but which, I mean, that's kind of an insane kind of story. So, do I think it's something MK Ultra? No, I don't. I don't know what it was about. I think it was a very disturbed elderly man. I really do. So, don't know what it was all about, but nonetheless, like I said, 5 hours is what it took them. I hear you. I've been seeing that up there too. Yeah, I can't say we've got dumb TVs at the. Well, the one in the bedroom's dumb, isn't it? Yeah, the one in the bedroom's dumb. This one here isn't real smart though. Can we just say it's got mental? You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just retarded. It's a Roku TV, and so it's not a full-on smart TV. It's a thinking, I don't know, it's a conscious TV with learning disabilities. I It's a Roku TV, whatever you want to call that. It's not a smart TV though. I think there's a distinct difference between a smart TV and a Roku TV. Like, I can't go to websites and stuff. I can't just go in and type in our website and go to it. I don't have a browser on this. Like smart TVs, you've got a browser and all that other good stuff, so. Anyway. Yeah, but our fridge is dumb. It's very dumb and makes knocking noises from time to time. So not only is it dumb, but it's at least part gimpy. And I don't know how long it's gonna. I mean, it may last forever. It's an older fridge. It ain't like one of these new fridges that you buy it and the thing breaks on you before you even get it. It breaks on you at the assembly plant. I'd have been pissed if I would have went out and bought one of those, what was it, the fridges that were going out so bad that Samsung, of all people, man, they had just a nightmare going on. I think it was with their fridges, their smart fridges. I think they might have had issues on TVs too. I think there was a period they did, but I don't know. We ain't got that kind of blood. We got a TCL TV because that's how we roll. Which is the cheapest? That's mine. No, we don't hardly ever watch it, so. Oh, you got a new washing machine? Yeah, is it a front loader or is it a top loader? What I think is crazy is the new top loaders. They don't have that thing that comes up in the middle. Agitator is what they call it. Oh, top. So yours don't have an agitator. It's just got the little circle thingy with a few bumps on it on the bottom, and that's supposed to do the job. I assume it does the job. I assume. I've never had one of those. Yeah, we've got one of the stackables, I think 1947. No. No, I don't know. It's not that bad. I think it's probably an 80-something model, but it's, it could use a new agitator. Apparently it's gotten agitated too much and it broke its agitation connection. No, the thing came out. It's got like half of it there, but that doesn't really agitate nothing, so. But, it works, so that's all we care about. It works. I hear you there. Yikes. They'll only cover it if it was in the, wow, that sucks. Because that's not like an issue that would be attributed to being frozen or something like that, which I think would be their big concern. That's crazy. Alright, I've got some headlines to read for you. And then we can be done. And I can see you after the snowstorm. Yeah. It means it's going to be cold, wet, and miserable. Now, if we would get like 3-4 feet of snow, that would be incredible. That would be awesome. But, because it's been so long since our area has had just a stupid snow. And I don't know. I'd like to see a stupid snow. I really would like to see a stupid snow. We're good. We got diesel fuel today, so we're good. We've been running on the electric heaters for a little bit because we were out of diesel fuel. So we were on the electric heaters for a little while, and I was able to get more diesel today, and so that thing's ticking and went away in there. Oh God, I love the heat that thing puts out. So much better than the electric heaters. I love this. That diesel heater is so awesome. Oh wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm telling you, these companies anymore, well, they're in a different position than the way it was. Back then, it was important for them to make the customers happy. Now, it doesn't so much matter. You know, all you're going to do is go to a different company, which is really just the same company. And, you know, it really not much you can do these days. I think there might be like maybe 2 different companies that actually make washers. Maybe 2. I doubt there's as many as 3, but there could be, I guess. Let's see. I found that out from ordering parts. Alright. Let's see. Starting from the headlines I put out this morning. FDA molds yearly COVID jabs. I know y'all are excited about that prospect. Former Mexican security chief accused of taking cartel bribes. In other words, it's a normal day. Russia-Iran trade blossoming. Number of Western firms which left Russia revealed. Russian military opposed by almost entire West in Ukraine, says a top general. Ukraine conflict to cost Germany 4.5% of GDP, says DW. Reshuffle in Kiev amid scandals. Yeah, not sure what's all going on with that. A NATO applicant may abandon unity, says foreign minister. A German arms firm reveals number of tanks it could send to Kiev. Chief of General Staff details Russia's response to security threats. EU gas price cap threatens market stability, says regulators. Germany advises allies on what they should do with Leopard tanks. Ghislaine Maxwell makes claim about Jeffrey Epstein's death. Pardon me. China slams U.S. over catastrophic debt. California rocked by back-to-back deadly shootings. There was another shooting there. I'm not real familiar with the details of the other shooting that happened, though. So, definitely don't even know enough to be able to give you any of the facts. Another coup plot foiled in Germany. I posted that first picture I got. U.S. not ready to fight China, says a study. M&M's to lose iconic spokes candies. Yes, that's right. The M&M's candies are gonna go bye-bye because they don't want to offend anybody, and well, there's just no way for them to be able to move forward without offending someone, so they're just gonna have to go away. Kiev asked Minsk to sign non-aggression pact, says Lukashenko. Russia may seize assets of scoundrels who fled the country, says Duma speaker. Kiev fires many of its officials amid corruption scandals. Genocide survivors sue Myanmar. Crypto-friendly El Salvador pays its sovereign debt dues. Finnish FM backtracks on NATO comment. Russia boosts oil exports to India and China, says Reuters. Zelensky makes big business pitch to the U.S. Let's see. Covered those. Ukraine advises West on how to negotiate with Russia. I'm very glad that Ukraine is advising us on that. Classified documents found at another U.S. politician's home. So, at this point, it's like, raise your hand if you don't have classified documents at home. That'd be a lot easier. Berlin to send Leopard tanks to Ukraine, says me. Oh, I covered that. NASA teams up with Pentagon for atomic spaceships. So that's going to be interesting, question mark. I covered those. MPs call for probe into massive spike in deaths. Actually did that one. Switzerland makes decision on weapons for Ukraine. And lastly, U.S. government sues Google. Fun times. Well, anyway, that's the goings on for today. I am gonna hop out of here and chillax the rest of the evening, and God willing, we'll be back tomorrow, and I'm sure I'll have plenty more. I don't think we're in the calm before the storm anymore. I think the storm's here, and I think it's going to be a pretty quick ramp up to it. So we'll see. I think we're just right on the edge of the storm. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. I hope to see you all tomorrow. Hope you have a good evening tonight. And as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.